Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thanks for people who's joining and watching through LinkedIn or Facebook. Today is an important topic that I really love and enjoy talking about it, which is how building your mental strength. Before I discuss why it is important, I noticed that I was part of those professionals or startups that we are always have many things all around us. Every day there things are changing every minute. And I found out that at one point I reached to be at the play of the surroundings. So ups and downs, you see me ups and downs and not able to control what I need to focus on, what are the priorities, and I'm seeing more myself rather being reacting more than responding. So I thought, okay, is there a way how I can really get myself in control, whatever is happening around me? Is there something I can build my mental strength, my mental toughness? And this is what I came today that I'm going to share because I believe in our day-to-day life, we need to understand how the mind function and how, for me as a professional, I need to keep my things, my life in control, no matter what is happening. I want to be the one who's steering the ship rather than people around me pushing me left and right. And also, you can. So let me start. I will be sharing some slides. At the end, if anyone has any question, they can post it. Also, I will put a link for if you need to discuss further one-to-one on a call. I will be more than happy to share with you how I can really help you. So to share the slides, as we put it here, it's building your mental strength. Now, just a small background about me, but again, it is for people who's first time attending my seminar. It's not about me, it is all about you. But to give you a background, I'm normally works with the startups and professionals to develop a success mindset. So that will help them in business realization through mentorship. And this is what I work with people, either a group or individuals. I am a mentor and advisor for various startups. I'm a certified Procter Gallagher consultant. I have more than 30 years executive and sales leadership. I'm a founder of the Quantum Results, my own company, plus I'm a mentor and investor at Labiba. And at the end, I'm a father like many of you. So the topics I'm going to cover today, they're they're the following. There are various topics. I will try to spread it over an hour to make sure that I cover each part. So we will discuss about the importance of gratitude. Then we will highlight the power of thoughts and the power of habits. Then we will move to how you can build your mental strength. And I will show you a roadmap for your success in life. So for the gratitude, I will share with you a story where this gratitude list is important. And I will explain to you how this thing works. One day, one of my clients during the noon time, she called me and she was at work, frustrated, have a lot of anxiety, not happy what is going on that day in work, which is normal. Like many professionals, it happens during the day that they run with a deadlock, with the blocks, with the many challenges dealing with their colleagues or friends or whoever. And she didn't know what exactly she wanted to do at that moment. She was seeking my advice and help. So simply I asked her, "Can you give me half an hour?" She said, "I have all the time for you." I told her, "I want you now to leave the office. Make sure before leaving the office, just take a pen and a paper with you. and go to the nearest coffee shop outside the office. Just go find a place, quiet place, and sit there. So that's what she did. And when she reached there, I asked her to call me back. So I told her, now, since you reach, pick up a cup of coffee, have a quiet place, and I want you to do the following. Don't think much about work. Just write 10 good things about your life. Any good things about your life. It could be the family, it could be your health, it could be your eye, your dress, your what's called parents, and so on. Just list down what comes to your mind. Don't think about it, just let it flow as it is. The moment she finished those 10 things, she called me back. I told her, so what happens exactly with you? She said that it's over. I said, what do you mean it's over? She said, I'm no longer an anxiety. I have now a quiet mind. I believe I've been able to get my mind in order. This exercise I normally do, and I ask many people to start their day with this gratitude exercise. This is one of the strongest exercise that can, if you get in a lot of confusion, just go ahead and do it. If you run with a financial crisis, your company will bankrupt or whatever, just do this exercise. You will see you will get yourself in control and in order. Simply, when you are in those crises, you're more on a negative side. What I'm trying to do, I want to reset your mind in a way, just make it a zero. And this gratitude will help you to reset and plus to move to more on a creative action oriented. So if you want to take one thing from this whole webinar today, just make sure that you know and do this exercise. Now to continue, we need to understand this following facts. Your mind, your thinking, it can be in one or another. It can be either confused or orderly state, one or another. You cannot be confused and in order state. It is either you're confused or orderly state. It's a fact. This is how our mind functions. So, if you look on this guy, what would you tell about him the first look? So simply, this guy is really confused, has a lot of doubt and worries. Like many of us during the day, we get in that state that we don't know exactly what we're going to do and how we're going to solve our issues. There is something I want to teach you or explain to you about the mind, and the reason for that, you will start understanding what is causing your anxiety, your confusion, your frustration, how you can get things in control, but you need to understand how the mind functions. Simply, if you take this big circle, your mind, and the small circle is your body, and your body is mainly an instrument of your big mind, you will see that you will either be in confused, which is your ignorance, something when you are in confused state, that means you're missing one data point, or maybe two, or a couple of data points. You are in ignorant state, and normally while you're in an ignorant state, you're more on a negative side. You don't feel good, you don't feel comfortable. Or if you know exactly what you want to do, how you want to achieve it, how you are going to handle the situation, you will see yourself more in an order state. So you are either in confused or orderly state. You will see during the day, maybe while I'm talking, while you're driving, when you're in a meeting, All the time there is thoughts coming to your mind, left and right, left and right. And some scientists, they estimated number of thoughts that comes to our mind during the day. They said it's between 50 to 70,000 thoughts a day. So you can imagine the size of information that is flowing to your mind during the day. And the nice thing, which is this is the key, you have a choice. What does it mean? You have a choice which side you want to be. You want to be in ignorant, confused all the time, or you want to get yourself in order, study, and know more. So you can choose which side you want to do. An incident happens in front of you. Also, you have a choice how you want to respond or handle that one. It is you have a choice. Nobody has it other than you. So your mind either in ignorance or knowledge, either confused or orderly state. There is a nice quote for Viktor Frankl in his book Man's Search for Meaning, which is really nice. He said, no matter the circumstances, you always have the last of the human freedom to choose your attitude. In his book, This Man's Search for Meaning, he wrote this book while he was in the concentration camp. And you know how stressful you see death in front of you all the time, all the day. And he was shocked that people were they were killed, passed away with no reason. Well, people were still, they know they're going to be killed by the soldiers, and still they have a hope. They have something they want to do in their life. So this is how it is important that you still have a choice. No matter the circumstances, you always have the loss of human freedom to choose your attitude. Imagine that this guy was in a prison, in a concentration camp, and he found out that he has the ability to choose whatever he wanted. Now back to what we said, you always have a choice. You can, those thoughts are always flowing to your mind. You have those 70,000 thoughts a day, and you can choose which side of this coin you want to be. You want to be in the confused state or orderly state. So now, if you stayed and decided, you see yourself in confused. And as I said, being in confused state, that means there are some ignorance. You are missing some information about the situation. It could be you are overloaded with a lot of work for some reason or another. So you become confused. And the reason for that one is ignorant. You still did not figure out how you're going to manage, which one you want to work on, and so on. And if you did not fix that one, what will happen? You will have worry and doubt. Would I be able to succeed? Would I be fail? Would I be late? Blah, blah. And these questions will keep running in your mind all the time. Then you have a fear. In a way, oh, what if I failed? What if I did not deliver that project to my manager? That means I will be fired. And so if you keep that cycle, you will see, you will get more anxiety, more, and those feelings are really suppressed inside you. And to be honest, if you continue and you did not express, you will have a depression, and that depression causes you a disease, a dis-ease. And those dis-ease is causing a disintegration. So this is a choice. If you want to stay in that confused state. The other choice is no. I want to be in orderly state. I want to study. I want to understand. I want to solve my solutions. And this is by studying and understanding. Like the case we mentioned, if you stayed and organize your mind to make a priority for all the projects that came at one time, and you start tackling one after another. Maybe some of those projects you can delegate to others. You don't have to do it. Maybe your secretary, maybe someone else can do it. You don't have to take over the load. So the moment you start choosing how you want to move, studying and understanding, what you will find out, you have a faith in yourself. You become more confident, easy, and you are in a well-being. And that is expressed by calmness. People can notice you that whatever project comes to you, you have been able to manage it. And that expression, you will see acceleration, growth in your life. In addition, you will be always at ease, and you have a more in the creation mode. So it's a choice. You have a choice which side of the coin, which part of those thoughts you wanna be, either in ignorance or knowledge. So it's a choice. Again, this is another example when we talk about the power of thoughts. If you kept things in your mind, you did not express it, you did not seek help, then this can drive you to think that nobody likes. This guy, Aaron Swartz, he's a young man. He was an American computer programmer, entrepreneur. He was a well-known co-founder of Reddit. If you don't know about Reddit, you can search on the internet. This is one of the American social websites, and it's like an aggregator. This person, he was so intelligent. However, his issue was what? He mentioned that I had a lot of illness. He did not disclose it. It was only talking, and they found it in his notes. I don't talk about it much for a variety of reasons. We professionals have a lot of stress that sometimes we don't express it to others, to our close people, to my manager, to my mentor, seeking help. I feel ashamed to have an illness. It sounds absurd, but there is still an enormous stigma around being sick. Sometimes we professionals, we want to show ourselves, yeah, we are tough, we are hard to deal with, yeah, we are always strong, and so on. However, there is a lot of illness inside us because of the pressure, and we did not know how to manage our thoughts, our feelings, our actions in the right way, so we kept it inside us. Unfortunately, that gentleman has committed suicide. Now, there is a nice paper, why I highlight this one. Although this is for entrepreneurs, founders, but this is something common by all professionals, founders, startups. He said, are entrepreneurs touched with fire? So are we touching fire without noticing that we're doing that for ourselves? In his study, he studied more than, I think, the first time he studied 500 and increased it to 1,000. So what he reported about those professionals, that 30% have a depression, 29% they have ADHD, which is attention deficit, where you see a hyperactivity disorder. 12% there's substance use conditions, inability to control the use of legal or illegal drug for medication. You see them, they're just taking drugs. It's like an addiction for them. And he found out 11% of them of bipolar diagnosis. So you can see how severe, if you don't really take care of your mental strength, where it could drive you. And this is just a red flag for each professional to listen carefully to this one. And if he sees, he has those severe conditions, he need to consult with a psychiatry, with people who are more specialized. It's not me, it is a person who is really specialized who can solve this. Now, another example on the power of thoughts, and this is a discovery, it's been in the 1800s. And how important you really, as I said again, I will repeat it till the end, you will hear me. You have a choice of your thoughts. You can decide which side you want to go. Dr. Herman Warhav experiments is a well-known. He did it, I guess, late 1700, early 1800. The experiment is so simple. He wants to study how the mind really functions and can our thoughts really impact our actions and how the body behaves. So he was working in some of those experiments and he decided he wanna do his experiments on people they're in prison for final sentence. They're going to be hanged, to be whatever happens to them, in a way that they're no longer going to live a long life. So he got an approval from the government, start talking to their families and trying to persuade them by money, because this guy is going to lose his life, sooner or later. So why don't we give you some money and do the experiment? Plus, this guy will be a famous, a well-known, that people will always talk about him, that how he served, blah, blah, and so on. So the experiment that he did after he got an approval, this prison, this is just this is not a real, but this is showing, I think, one of the movies. They tied that prison in all his way that he could not move. So he was sitting on a chair tight. And also they covered his eyes and told him exactly the experiment as follows. It will be just few minutes in a way that you will not feel, but we want to do some estimates for some of our calculation. And the experiment, he said, they told him, they put 2 buckets on each hand, and they told him that we're going to cut each hand in a way that you will start hearing the blood dropping in that each bucket on a side. And we will tell you we're going to start now, and you will see. So they start the experiment. And that person start imagining himself. They touch his hands in a way that he start dripping blood. They were floating some blood that he thought, it's a blood, and he was hearing the dripping in the bucket. Within a few minutes, that prison has lost his life. What exactly they did? They did not cut him. They did not put any blood. It was only water. They touch his hands. It's like they cut his hand, which it was not. Then he started hearing and imagining blood was dripping from his hand to the buckets. He was listening, and because they told him exactly what they're going to do, he started visualizing exactly what is going to happen to him. Within a few minutes, he lost his life. However, they did not cut his hands. There was no drop of blood at all. So it shows you how your thoughts, if you did not use it, you did not control it, you might lose or drive you crazy for things that you don't want to do. And this is how powerful your thoughts. As I repeat, you have always a choice. So, no matter the circumstances, you always have the last of the human freedoms to choose your attitude. So, it is in your hand. You have that choice. Nobody can force you what to think. So, if I ask you now, don't think about something, you might be able to think about it. But I can tell you, let's go there, and that in your imagination, it is a choice. I cannot force you to do this. And you will notice many, if you're a professional, maybe at your work, if you are a manager, or maybe if you are an employee and there was an instruction to do something, you might say, yes, I will do it, but you're not totally convinced. So actually, you will not do it. Although you told your manager, I'm going to do it, but you have a choice. Nobody can force you unless you want it. You really care about your job. So again, the thought is in your hand and you're the one who can decide. So, all right, now I want to choose the right thoughts for my life. So I know exactly what I want. I want to control. I want to have a knowledge. I want to be in control of my life. I don't want to be play of the surroundings. And this is, let's say, this is my goal. So it is simple. However, once I tried, it does not work. So what the heck is going on? It is so simple. I am here where I am. I know that I'm always a play of the things, whatever happens to me, immediately reacting. I want to start focusing and taking control of my life. So I know exactly where I am heading. So simple and so obvious. However, we are still not able to do it. Why? Simply, and this is how many people they are stuck. You want to go to the gym. You decided you want to go to the gym. However, you're not able to go to the gym for some reason or another. Or so you did not continue, you just work for 1, 2, 3 days, then you give up. Why? You decided you want to go for a diet. You decided you want to start writing a book. You decided you want to start up your own company. So it's simple, clear the goal where it is, but many people are stuck. And simply the reason for that is not because the goal is difficult or challenging, simply because of your current circumstances. It is your current situation. This is what is holding many people back. And there is something we call it the paradigm. And the paradigm, it shows you the power of the habits. You have a habit, you have a current beliefs currently today. Unless you start changing those, you will still be stuck. If you don't believe that going to the gym is good for your health, for your life, you will become more active, you will become more energetic during the day. If you don't change that belief, you will continue giving yourself an excuse because this is your current habits. You used not to go, you always want to take it relax, take it easy. So unless you start focusing to change the habits, here, your paradigms, you will still continue to be stuck. And here are some examples about those paradigms when we talk about it, so to make it close. Also, the way you're thinking, when I said you want to focus more on the positive rather than the negative, always study. Trust me, if you are always used to being jumping here and there, you will continue unless you start focusing to change the paradigms. Some of the paradigms is your understanding of time management, because there are different definitions of time management. If you use one and it is not getting you what you want, and you want to try another one, you need to change your paradigm, your way of understanding how that time management. Because for me, time management is not there. We all have 24 hours, but we can manage our priorities. The task, I make them as a priority and start with the most important, then the least, then the least, then the least. And this is how I can maximize my productivity. Another one, if I'm lacking confidence, then it will be the same thing. You can talk to people, tell them, hey, you need to build a confidence. You're a good person, and you talk to them, and they're convinced, but inside them, they're not feeling themselves confidence. No way. They will stand, talk to the people, and being reluctant, not able to express themselves. So this is a paradigm. Can it be changed? Absolutely. Everything can be changed. Nothing cannot be changed. One of them is the low self-esteem. You see yourself weak, always low, not being accepted by the community, and so on. This is a paradigm, and this is part of the building a self-image. Can you change it? Absolutely, you can change it. Also, about procrastinations, you have a habit of always doing things at the last minute. Whatever, you're always like that. Sometimes it works with you, but sometimes doesn't, especially when you start you growing in your career, and those procrastination doesn't work. You need to be blunt. So this is a type of paradigm. Can you change it? Yeah, you can build those habits, and you can use some techniques to help you to start building those right habits. Controlled by the surroundings, yeah. Many of us, we are living always by our surroundings. We see what is happening in outside, and you see us, we're always reacting. And this is something I'm going to explain why we are always caused an anxiety, frustration, because we are controlled by our surroundings. We're not able to control, to differentiate how I can really get in control of my life, being responding rather reacting. And the last one, for example, it's not the last one, but another one, others' opinion. You worried much about what other people is going to tell about you. So these are some examples of paradigm. What I'm going to teach today are techniques also about how you can build your mental strength. This is information knowledge, but you have to develop it as part of your habits and belief system. Having the knowledge, knowing it does not change unless you start building it inside you, become like an autopilot. And this is what I'm going to explain more. So let's take this big circle again. This is your mind. You have a two parts, conscious and subconscious mind, and your body is the instrument of your mind. So whatever happens in your mind, your body will be doing and taking actions. And we are normally living by those five antennas, which are get us all the information. We see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. These are all the inputs I'm getting from outside. And this is will give me an information. It is an important tool, but I want to teach you, you should not always. This is only just for input, but you should do things in a different way. You will find out that your conscious mind is your thinking mind. This is how you can come up with an idea. It is your educated mind, and it is your intellect. So you have a very powerful about your mind. However, your subconscious mind is your emotional mind. The conscious mind, it can choose. Like Viktor Frankl, when we said he can choose the way he want to think. He can also accept or reject, like the Warhav experiments. That prisoner, he choose the thoughts that he's going to die. He's going to bleed till he'll lose his life, and that's what he accepted that idea which they planted in his mind. Nobody forced him. He could reject it and continue whatever, but because he accepted, this is what happens. And you have, as a mind, as a human being, you have the ability to originate new ideas. Now, if you start accepting some of those ideas and repeatedly put it and repeat it to yourself, your subconscious mind must accept that one, especially when you put emotions in those ideas. And your subconscious mind cannot reject. And this is how you start changing your paradigm. You start planting in new ideas, and your subconscious mind will start accepting. It cannot reject. Although if it is a bad idea, it should accept it, cannot reject it. Like what we said in this Warhav experiments. It's a bad idea. I'm going to lose, as a prisoner, going to lose my life. But I accept it because also my subconscious mind, although it's a bad idea, I cannot reject it. So he start behaving and reacting your body according to your own beliefs. And it cannot determine the difference between which is real and which is imagined. And like the Warhav experiments, the mind couldn't differentiate if it is real what is happening. Do I really bleed, or this is my imagination is creating that image? I'm really bleeding. They cut my hand. I can hear the voice, and so on. You will find out that today your results, 96% of your current results are coming from where? Some people think they're coming from my original ideas, my conscious mind. Unfortunately, they are coming from your current paradigm, your current habits, your current beliefs. 96% of your current results are coming from your subconscious mind. And subconscious mind, that where you do things without thinking much. You do it in an autopilot immediately without thinking much about it. It's like when you wake up in the morning, you go through a certain pattern. You wash your face, then you do whatever you want to do, then you have a cup of coffee, have a breakfast, drive a car, take the car and drive it on the highway, go to the first meeting without thinking. You find out, oh, I'm at the office. Oh my God, what happens in the last hour? Because you're working on those autopilots. They're good, but there's some of them you need really to upgrade to get a different results. So, and this is when we said about the paradigm and the importance of it. Now, we will come to something important about something we all have, but we are using some of those mental muscles, I call them, which they are really your mental strength. It's imagination, intuition, will, memory, reasoning, perception. We all have these, but some of us, they're using part of those muscles and others, they don't use it. And some, they are not aware that they do have this power in their mind. So what are our mental muscles? As I said, we have 6. The perception is our point of view, how we see the world. The way I see the world is different than the way you see it. We might be looking on the same, let's say there's a car accident. I feel sorry, depressed, I don't know, my imagination take me to the other way. Many bad things happens because this is how I perceive that accident. You will be looking at it differently. Oh, this guy was lucky. It's only a damage in his car. He wasn't hurt. He's in the safe. Blah blah. So we are looking on the same thing, but we are usually have a different perception. And this is one of the important mental muscles when dealing with day to day about your frustration and anxiety. You can use these muscles in a way. Okay, what is causing my frustration? This guy, he sent me this one. And why I reacted the way I reacted? Because I understood it in this way. What if I change my perception that this guy is wanna really benefit me, he wanna do this and this, he wanna teach me this and this. So this is how you start playing and using one of your mental muscles. Another one is imagination, and we know it. It creates fantasies, dreams, and idea, and this is part of your creativity. Intuition, and this is where you pick up the vibration. This is where people, they said, what is your gut feeling? How do you feel about that situation? And this is a talent. It's a muscle. Some people, they're really expert. They immediately pick up the things and they can give you, yeah, I think we should go that way. And it needs practice. You might say, oh, this guy, he's talented, he can tell you exactly. It's only a practice that you can do. Can you develop that muscle? Absolutely. There's techniques that people use really to start developing those intuition muscle. Another one, the will, which is the ability to focus. If you're not able to focus on a project, let's say your manager asks you to focus for 1 hour on doing one project, and you can see yourself. You will see that you will start with something then you will end up with something totally different, not related to the topic. And you see that you are lacking the will, the ability to give a focus. And there is a technique also to develop it, how you can develop the will. So these are mental muscles that you need really to develop. Another one is the memory, and the last one is the reasoning. So knowing those mental muscles, and this is how you start developing your mental strength in a way that I need really to start practicing this thing. Each muscles, it needs a practice. It's like doing in the gym. Each way, the more you practice on a certain muscles, you will see it start growing. If you don't use it, we say it, you lose it. So this is something you can take for a week. I will focus only on a perception. Whatever happens to me, I will try to see it from a different perspective. For example, try to start using that muscle. Also the imagination, intuition, will, memory, and reason. And I will give you an example how, and for an incident happens, how that gentleman, he was really smart enough to start using his mental muscles. Now, this is a question for you. If you have a new situation, do you react or respond? In a way, there is something happens in you in your life. What happens? Do you immediately react without thinking much, or you think, you pause, think about the solution in different ways, how I'm going to approach it, then I will be responding? Because this is will tell you exactly how is your paradigm. In a way, how is your habits? Let's say, for example, this is how people when they react. They see something happens in front of them, and what they do exactly immediately, without thinking much, their autopilot will kick in, and their current habits control the auto response. For example, you were driving and someone has get close to you in a way that by always without thinking, anyone try to put you at risk, you immediately show him, you react without thinking to put him also at risk. It's not only me, he should be also at risk. This is you do it without thinking. So you can look on a different parts of your life. Do you react or respond? So this type, we don't want it. We need really to develop our mental strength to start responding. And you will see that 96% of your results are coming really from those autopilot responses. So what I need to do, I need really to start looking at the situation differently, using my mental muscles. Something happens, and I should be in an active thinking in a way that I should control. So something happens in front of me. What you have to pause, think, use your mental faculties, and make the right choice, make the right decisions. Do not immediately respond. And this is also a new habit in a way that if you develop the right habit, something went wrong in front of you. What should you do? I'm not talking about a risk, but something at work went wrong. Do you immediately get angry, frustrated, shouting, or you hold, you gather information, you start analyzing, using your mental muscles to analyze the whole situation, then you take an action? This is a habit. The more you practice it, the more you start getting more control in your life rather than others play games with you. Now, I want to share a story and to show you how people can use their mental muscles, how they can build their mental strength. And it is so simple, but need practice. It's not difficult, not impossible, but need practice and persistence. So in 1985, there was a tornado hit Barrie, Ontario. This picture is not for the 1985, but a recent one, but the one in 1985 had hit hardly that cities. That many people were passing by that city from and look from the highway, and they're seeing the life there are really chaos, miserable. People are homeless, many damages here and there. People are looking at them with a pity, feeling sympathy, but again, continue driving without doing anything. Like many of us, I cannot do it, so why should I worry? And my autopilot is the one who's driving me to pass by. Just it's not my problem. This is their problem. Government will fix it, and so on. So this is how it happens. Then there was a guy. He passed by that city, and he looked at it, and he couldn't, you know, let it go like this. He said, I need to do something to help those people. I don't know how, but I feel obliged as my social responsibility to help that city. I didn't know how. So this guy, he started responding rather than reacting. So over the weekend, he was thinking more and more, and he came with an idea. This guy, he has a small radio station. And the idea he came with, he said, I need to get involved all my management team in this solving these issues. So he started using and focusing on his mental muscles because he thinks he has the power, and each one of us, he has the power. And this is always a technique I give it for people when they run with a problem. Just follow exactly this simple technique because it's so powerful. You are in control. You are responding rather than reacting. So he came with a simple idea. He called all his management to the room, and they were all sitting. And on the whiteboard, he drew a horizontal line. Then he drew another vertical line like this. Then he wrote at the top 3, 3, 3. Everyone in the room started looking, what the heck, what is this 3, 3? And why he's calling the first day in the week, all the management team, all the executive, just for showing us a 3, 3, 3. So that CEO, the owner of this small radio station, he gave them a story, background about the Barrie, Ontario tornado and what happens. And he said, I feel as a social responsibility, I need to help that. And I have an idea, and I'm calling you for this idea because I want to implement it. I don't know how, but I want to do it. So I'm not calling you to tell me, yeah, it will work or not. No, I'm calling you to tell you that I'm going to apply it. And the idea is follows. Because those guys, they lost their homes and it needs a lot of money. So I decided we, as a small radio station, we need to run a fundraising campaign for 3 days. Each day we will run for 3 hours, and at the end of those 3 days, we will collect $3 million to help that city. And this radio station, they never had in a single year more than 300,000 sales. So what this guy is talking about, he's really crazy. This is how they were talking to themselves. So everyone you can imagine in that room was jumping and saying, what the heck is going on? Again, he repeated, I did not call you to tell me why we cannot do it. I'm calling you to tell me how we're going, how I can do it. So I don't want to listen any reasons for why I can't do this one. I want to hear only ideas how we can do and achieve that goals. So it started in the room, people throwing ideas. Some are really good, some others they're like, why I cannot do this one? And they said, whenever someone says an idea like that, why I cannot, they said, pass, just forget it. We're not going to touch it. So they start coming with the brilliant ideas. One of the ideas they came with that we are a small radio station. Why don't we do that campaign where all Canada at the same time for 3 hours run the same fundraising? And they managed to do that, although there was a high competition, but they approach it when they start talking from a social responsibility. Then they start talking, okay, we will get some people from the TV who was like a celebrity, and so they came up with a bunch of ideas. Immediately they start acting on those ideas, and they start running that campaign for 3 days, and every day for 3 hours, and at the end they managed to collect the 3 million. So it can tell you how, and if you manage to start using your mental muscles, your imagination, intuition, memory, reasoning, perception in a right way, you will see that you are really in control of your life, not others. We are running always with issues, but you need really to hold and respond. You don't want to really react. And this is how you start developing your right mental strength. Now, a question you might ask me, okay, how can I start developing my mental strength? And normally it is not like attending webinar or just collecting information. It's a process that I really use it to help people, where I have a community that I run with my community over a 6 month, where we meet every 2 weeks and start discussing the process, how you start building your mental strength. It's about 12 modules. It's a well-proven process that we work together. The nice thing about it, there's a daily accountability mechanism that you will make sure that there's someone will be asking you, make sure that you are really doing the work and start building the right habits. And that process, you can have a look at it later. Goes that it starts with the clarity for me, because one of the great things that causes many people confusion, they don't have clarity of what they want to achieve in their life, what they want to do in their life. And once they get things this sorted out, they start now moving through the process, understanding what is holding you, how to develop the right habits and the paradigms, how to build the right self-image, how to start using more in details your mental strength to stay in charge. So it's a lengthy process over a 6 month. So I really invite you, if you are really serious to change and start building your mental strength, come let's have a call together. We can discuss more in details how we can achieve it. So this was the last slide. So the topics we covered is first about the gratitude, importance of the gratitude. Then we highlighted the power of thoughts, the power of habits, and how your mental strength, and the roadmap for success. So if you're really interested to have a one-to-one discussion, you can book a call with me. It's so simple, calendly.com/amsabri. I'm available to address any questions if you have in your, and we can have one-on-one chat. I can help you also to select your goals. Also, if you're having some struggles at work, I will be also more than happy to assist there. So I will open the floor for questions. The people with me in Zoom, they can either write down, or they can come forward and also speak about the question. For people on LinkedIn and Facebook, just post your questions and I will try to respond to you the earliest possible. And thank you again. So if you have any question, Sibyl, I will be more than happy to discuss with you.
Thank you for all the information that you gave us. In fact, these are the things that we already know, but it is very hard to apply them. And as I understand, it's also the problem of acting. And
All right. So yeah, what you said is right. You want to add something, Sibyl?
I have a question. You will give another lessons to give the details of these techniques, or it will be limited with this course?
Normally, I do those what's called webinars every 2 weeks. Plus, there are some recorded videos on my YouTube channel. I will try to share
Okay.
it with you. Also, if you have anything in specific, we can have a chat one-to-one that I can really understand your issue, because each professional has his own challenges that I need really to understand from him more, so I can really guide him rather than being in a generic way. But what you mentioned is correct. You need to practice. It is not only the knowledge. And to change your paradigm, your habits, my knowledge that there are many techniques available, you can follow them. The best way I found it is you need to have someone really who already did it. It's like a coach, a mentor who can really guide you and work with you, because there are some specific details in developing those habits that you need really to do. We have an affirmation, we have a get emotions, so that there are more specifics on that one that I can really help you if you need more details on it. We can have it offline, so in a way we can have a chat one-to-one that I can explain for you more details to what exactly you are looking for.
Okay, I will try to watch your videos from YouTube, and then maybe I can find the answer of my questions. Thank you for the time you shared with us.
Most welcome, anytime. And can you share your email, because I'm not sure I have, or no, you already registered,
Yes,
so
I
for
already.
sure. All right, so yeah, I do have it. I will send you the details plus a link for my YouTube channel. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much for your time. All right, by this, because I still need to access maybe after the call the Facebook questions and the LinkedIn, I will try to answer it. So by this, thanks again for watching, and looking forward to see you in the coming event. Thank you all. Have a great day. Bye-bye.